Welcome back, everybody, to GDQ HOTFIX. We are now here with our final run of Sonic and the Shiny Things Marathon. Appreciate all of you who have stuck with us all day. It has been a long day of Sonic fun, but we are here to wrap it up with Sonic 3 and Knuckles. All Emeralds glitched. I'm really excited to see this run because a lot of our runs today have been glitchless categories. I'm excited to see how broken we can make this. Before we jump directly into the run, though, I do want to mention a few things. This is our final run of this event, but there are more shows coming up this week. We've got Time Capsule at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, and we've got the First Step at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Additionally, I do want to remind everyone that Corona Relief Done Quick will be starting on April 17th until the 19th, benefiting Direct Relief. And SGDQ has been rescheduled, so if you've already submitted game and volunteer submissions, you will have to resubmit. Those resubmissions will open April 29th and go till May 9th. So just keep that in mind. For more information on the rescheduling, you can check gamesdonequick.com/notice. And for more information about events and upcoming dates, feel free to go to gamesdonequick.com. This show has been possible thanks to your bits and subscriptions, and your support makes these shows possible. So don't forget that if you have Amazon Prime, you can link your Twitch account to subscribe for free. We appreciate all the support that we've received. And with that, I'm going to throw it over to TheSoundDefense.
Cool, thank you very much. Hello everyone, I'm TheSoundDefense. This is Sonic 3 and Knuckles Maximally Glitched Edition. I've got two great commentators with me. We have Sega Junkie and Supersonic. Thank you both so much for doing this. Say hi.
My pleasure. Howdy everyone. You may remember me from such runs as the one that just finished.
And hello everyone, my name is Supersonic. I played Sonic 1 at the very start of this marathon, so I'm pretty honored to be a part of Sonic 3 and Knuckles as a commentator.
It's nice to have you here bookending things, right? You open the marathon and you're closing it, right?
That's pretty cool. So.
All right. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot to explain. It's Sonic alone. We're going to be collecting 14 emeralds instead of 7 because we've got 2 games combined into one for maximum special stages. And I hope you all enjoy the special stages because I've been working very hard on them. So yeah, anything else, or are we ready to go?
I'm ready to go when you count us in.
All right then, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Whew, okay, starting with Angel Island. This run starts off kind of chill, pretty fast but chill, but it goes pretty off the rails pretty fast. We'll start seeing that. Starting with Hydro City Zone, I should add. All right. And right now we're encountering our first enemy, which is my Wii Classic controller, which makes it a lot harder to do spin dashes than it should. I really need to just get a Genesis one of these days. All right, anyway, so here we are at the first special stage. There's nothing particularly special about this one, unfortunately. It's pretty straightforward, hard to mess with. There is one trick that I'm going to be going for. If I screw it up, I will look like a complete idiot, but on the plus side, if I get it, it looks completely unimpressive, so that'll be fun. Anyway, let's see if I pull it off. Nope, I look like a complete idiot. So, yeah, it is possible to jump over 2 bumpers at once, but it's really hard. And, I don't know, it saves like a second or so, but yeah, a lot of the time you just...
So your jump in this stage, even when it speeds up, is slightly more than 2. Or you'll also notice that box, he didn't actually complete the box, but everything counted in the box. Box tracking is a little bit broken. You'll particularly see that in stage 4. But for the most part, it doesn't matter too much other than that. But yeah, anytime you make a jump in a special stage, it's actually slightly longer than 2 tiles, so you just have enough room to clear 2 bumpers. It's much easier, you'll see him do it a fair bit in this stage coming up, to clear 2 red spheres, but you can't keep doing it forever. You can get maybe 6 or 7 of them in a row, but you can't keep doing it indefinitely.
Someone in chat asked, what is the RNG for which special stage gets selected? There is none, it's fixed. All right, so here's the question. sorry, go ahead.
In the Sonic 3 half, it'll play 1 to 7 in order. In the Sonic and Knuckles half, you can actually pick which stage you're going to.
All right, you guys need to pick up commentary because I can't talk during these, and you're about to see why.
Yeah, so remember what I said earlier about jumping over red spheres? He's going to do a lot of that. So you can see 3 in a row there. If you mistime any of those jumps even a little bit, you're in trouble.
Yeah, apparently the hitboxes for the red spheres are slightly smaller, am I right?
It's not
They're
slightly
definitely smaller than the bumpers.
Oh,
The
okay.
bumpers are the scary ones.
I'm not sure these things even have hitboxes, if we're being honest. All right, chat is enjoying this so far. I'm glad to see that. You think it's going to get worse than this. Just keep watching.
Yeah, no, that was nothing. How much does that save over just doing the routes the intended way? It's like it's a matter of seconds per stage, right?
Yeah, it's for most stages, the time savings that I'll be showing off are almost non-existent, but the swag savings are massive. So I think Special Stage 2 is the only special stage where that strat has been adopted by anyone else. Every other stage, everyone says it's not worth the effort, and they might be right. All right, 110 is not too bad.
Yeah, he pretty much lined himself right up against the tree there to give him enough room to do the insta shield, which actually expands Sonic's hitbox. So he's able to get the quick hits in there, as well as like kind of wait a little bit until the thing did a flamethrower and then just get the last hit.
All right, so coming up here, this is my favorite special stage. This special stage, it has a difficult half and it has an easy half. And as you can probably tell from how I'm playing this section right here, this is the easy half. When I get to the difficult half, I'm going to ask for quiet time.
Okay. So again, there's an intended route here, which you can see. You know, you walk through the chains of blue spheres, and then there's what TheSoundDefense does.
Yeah, several years ago, I basically watched a task and I did that. Okay, now I have to focus, so give me a second.
Sure.
Okay, thank goodness for that. So I can literally feel my heart pounding in my ears right now.
I'll be honest with you, I got shivers from watching that.
So what's the advantage to doing that sequence backwards?
The advantage is at the very end, you don't have to do a full turnaround of Sonic. You can just start going straight forward again. And like I said, the time savings are almost non-existent. But like chat's reaction, that is why I do this.
Exactly.
That's very impressive.
All right. This is going pretty well so far. I didn't fall into the pit. All right, and let's see if I can get this big old bounce off of the item box. Oh, looks probably not. Nope. Got it. For Pete's sake. There we go. That is what I wanted to do. All right, and now we're coming up to special stage number 4. And this one's pretty straightforward. There's nothing too special about it except for the very end, which is going to be pretty interesting to see. We saw it already once during Flying Fox's run, but mine is going to be very slightly different.
Yeah, I don't even know how to explain it properly, but yeah, box tracking is kind of messed up. So the way that the game actually checks whether a box is completed is not what you would think it is. And so you can take paths around it that make no sense, but do actually complete the box. And you'll see it here. You'll go through 11
And
blue spheres and it will clear the entire set.
And I don't know why it works. I just assume that they have like some path drawn out, and it's like if you do this path, then you get the orbs, I guess. All right, so that's all of the special stages for Angel Island Zone. I'm going to be picking up the rest of the emeralds over the next 2 acts.
Chat is absolutely loving your special stages.
I am so glad for that. I've been so excited to run this for so many years. So now we have a bit of a downtime, this auto-scroller that can't be avoided. Normally, there would be a bit of manipulation here to try and do a cutscene skip up ahead, but because we're entering the special stages, it's no longer possible.
Ah, okay.
There's actually a handful of things that change when you're doing an all emeralds run. Whoops, that didn't go so well. And we'll be seeing that in Carnival Night as well. Assuming I don't screw it up because I can't do a proper spin dash. We'll see. Jump at the right time.
I'm actually very curious to see what emeralds you get the rest of the way.
I will be getting... my volume is too low. It was hard to hear the audio key, but we're fine. Yeah, basically my goal here is to avoid one excruciatingly difficult boss a couple zones from now, so that should give you a hint, hopefully.
Okay, so that sounds like it's the same as what I used to do. Because I know that some people have actually talked about taking the route all the way out to Ice Cap, getting the last ones in Ice Cap.
Yeah, that's the tech I'm hearing these days with Ice Cap. And it is probably faster because those special stages are right on the way, but I mean, it's not marathon safe.
But I'm with you, yeah.
Completely agreed.
One day I will start doing that. Another interesting thing is that I found out is that if you get only one of those special stages in Ice Cap, you can't do the skip. You have to get both of them or neither of them, as I understand it.
That is incredibly fascinating.
I don't know why. This game is sort of held together with glue sticks.
Yeah.
Here's another special stage. There's going to be a lot more red jumping in here. Shoutouts to my good friend without whom this would not be possible. That friend's name is Input Buffering. And you input buffer extremely hard in the special stages. You can line up jumps and turns, like long, measurable fractions of a second before they're actually pulled off. And that makes several things here possible that otherwise would be infeasible. Oh my gosh, that's never going to not terrify me. There we go, that's 5 down. The 6th one is also pretty terrifying, and I'll be quiet for a lot of that. But then we're mostly home free. The real worry I have is failing a special stage, because you can't go back into the same ring and try it again, basically. You have to go and find another ring. And I have multiple backups that I could take, but I don't want to. Also, there's a strat here where you just hop off screen and hammer the boss from above, but I'm no good at it, so I don't do it. All right,
Gotta play these strengths, man.
Lined up, and look at my giant head.
All right, and you're probably all now sitting here thinking, oh, well, there's 2 in Hydrosity 2, so he'll be done by the end of that. No. We're not going anywhere near those.
No, we're not. All right, taking all bets. How many tries is this going to take me?
First try.
I'll go 2.
All right, the gauntlet's been thrown down. Yeah, first try. Supersonic.
All right, so that one's kind of finicky with Sonic because you have to get up to a very specific height on the wall to be pushed down into it like that. With Tails, it's a lot easier because you can use the flight to kind of modulate his height and put him in the right place, but Sonic just has to get the height of the jump right straight up.
And also the big reason why he took the death intentionally was to deload Act 1 out of Act 2, otherwise the level wrap will not work.
Yeah, all you do is just get stuck on the left-hand side of the stage and look kind of silly.
Yeah. If I screwed that up, there is a backup that is almost impossible to fail and there's no danger. And I used to try it over and over, wondering why it didn't work, and it was because I was not dying at the start of the stage. I would just like hit a wall, and it would be really anticlimactic. Anyway, here's Marble Garden. This is where I'm going to be picking up the last 2 emeralds. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this has just gotten really... I'm going to die. Hold on. I am not supposed to fall off there. I don't like that one bit.
Well, I suppose there's 2 easy emeralds down here if you want them.
I can't adjust the route on the fly. Who do you think I am? All right, let's try that again. I actually get the spin dash this time instead of jumping. There we go. That is what I wanted to do. All right, so here's emerald number 6, and this is just truly gratuitous ridiculousness here. So the route here is really straightforward once you know it. The only thing is that it can be a little slow to turn around, and it can be faster by a fraction of a second just to play backwards. So I'm going to do that for 1, 2, 3, 4, about half the level.
Nice.
And so I'm not going to be talking for about half the level.
Yeah, so every time you make a turn here, you want to actually turn the opposite direction to what you think, because all that the pressing left and right does is actually change the direction that Sonic's facing.
Okay, give me a second here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, thank goodness. I was really scared about that one. So I was counting 1, 2, 3, 4. I was basically counting red spheres passing me on the right to make sure that I buffered a turn at the right time. So otherwise, those blue spheres, they just sort of appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. You have to know exactly where they are and be ready to turn in the right direction.
Up here, if I could go up these platforms and get 2 backup rings, but I don't think I'm going to need them because the last special stage is not a very big deal. And of course, I face plant right there. That's wonderful. So I'm going to get this last ring, and then I'm tired of Marble Garden, so I'm just going to skip past the rest of it, basically. Once again, we start by turning around. Yeah, there's not much going on here. There's just some bumper jumping that's going to happen. Every once in a while in this stage, I do like the most perfectly timed jump on accident, and I get a blue sphere that turns a square into rings, but I don't collect any rings. I cannot reliably duplicate it, and it's really hard to do.
Yeah, and the reason he's jumping in the first place is you actually want to collect as few rings as possible. This is a minuscule time saver, but like every time that you collect,
oh my God,
it adds oh, that's unlucky. It adds an extra frame to the count. All right, so what I'd do from here is I'd get the one just before. There's one further on from here. Go right.
All right.
Just
like
follow the normal. Just follow the normal path of the stage.
Oh yeah,
that's
that's
the
right.
one up the top of the climb.
That's right around here about. My other plan was to. Oh come on. I guess I have to do this the plebeian way. This is embarrassing. Got spaghetti falling out of my pockets right now. At this point, yeah, this is something I did not think I would have to practice because I did not think I would fail the very last special stage. My plan here, from where do I go?
Jump on the spinning top all the way to the left.
All the way left. Got it.
Yep.
Thank you. Oh, is it up in here?
Yep.
Here we go. Thank you, sir. All right.
Good to know the backups.
The merits of doing a category that collects every single one of them.
Yeah, like all of my backups were before this point, so I thought I'm never gonna screw this one up. If I screw this up again, I am restarting the level because I'm just gonna get the other rings. And now there is no pressure to get a PB, so no, that helps. There we go. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. So again, like we were saying, you get 2 tiles worth per jump, but the bumpers actually have slightly larger hitboxes than the red spheres. So you don't want to do your jump too late because otherwise you'll end up going backwards. So he adjusted too early and just landed on the red sphere in front.
Yep. So now I would be skipping past this right now, but now I need to play this level normally to get to the skip point that I was going for. Oh, I actually needed that. Wow, I'm dumb as rocks. Never mind.
You can just screen wrap past that, it's fine.
Yeah, that's... Are you back yet? You are back. Thank you. Alright, so yeah, now I did look at a map before coming here, and I think I'm getting close to the wrap point. But I don't know for sure. And also, I just noticed a big problem. How many rings do I currently have?
There are quite a lot at the end on the left route.
Yeah, that is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Does this one go left? No, that goes right.
So,
Yeah, there should be plenty of rings on the left side.
Yeah, you should have enough just on the ramps now.
oh, and of course, I run past all the ramps.
If you can get one more, you're okay. There's 12 in the pits.
Yeah, it should be good to get the rest.
Alright, and I'm gonna grab this. Okay, now I'm good.
Alright.
Now I just need to not screw this up. Alright, do a vertical wrap, screen wrap, and I'm in the upside down. So now, oh, didn't mean to transform there, but no big deal.
Yeah, you've got enough time.
Okay.
Okay, so now he's going to fight the Act 2 boss from inside the wall. And the reason he wanted Supersonic here is that you can see that Supersonic can just stand in his sprite and get hits. To do it with regular Sonic, you have to spin dash into position, and if you mess any of it up, then the screen shifts into the wrong place, and you cannot complete the stage.
And there I am. Just need to not screw that up, and okay. That takes care of that. That was hopefully the worst thing that's going to be happening this run.
All right. So because that was the Act 2 boss, it will now play the transition into Carnival Night, and he'll go straight to Carnival Night. One side effect that this has is because you didn't actually complete Act 2 normally, the game's save function doesn't register the fact that you've completed Marble Garden. So if he makes any major mistake here that causes him to reset altogether, he'll go back to Marble Garden. So this is a stage you really don't want to mess up.
And this is a stage that has a high potential of being messed up, but hopefully it's the kind where I just have to play the level normally instead of soft blocking it.
Yeah, the worst thing that can happen to you there is missing one of those spin dashes while you're in the level wrap, getting up to here, because then you are stuck. You can die actually, but that takes quite a bit of time.
It's preferable to going back to Marble Garden. Okay, now I should be good here. It is possible to get a pattern that will straight up kill you, but it looks like I didn't get one of those. So,
yeah, that's good. All right. So to actually try and explain somewhat what just happened there. So the pinwheels have their own gravity. And when you're standing on them, you get pulled towards the center all the time. So what that means is for that to work, they have to make your gravity significantly larger so that the normal stage gravity doesn't take effect. And then it also has to be applied in any direction so that it can always be pulled towards the center. Normally, the only way you can get off a pinwheel is by jumping, which if that's fine, then those effects only take place on the pinwheel, and that's fine. That's not what happened here. If you stand on the 10 ring boxes underneath
thank
that first pinwheel, you get the same effects. And that lets you take it off the pinwheel and use them anywhere. And so that's how he's managed to navigate the stage. The one thing you can't do, obviously, is jump, which means that he had to fight the boss in a very specific way.
All right, so thankfully everything went according to plan. You'll notice that normally when you do that particular glitch, you end up, oh, come on, really? You end up running all the way across the stage through the ceiling. But because this is all emeralds, that's not actually possible. You always get stopped partway through. So we have to use a backup strat that involves going down into the tunnel.
I've not seen that version of it before. It looked like you went too far, and then what did you do? Hold right to move yourself back up?
Yes. Like I was pause buffering up to a certain point, and then I started holding right, which stopped me from shooting too far, and then it sent me up into the tunnel, into the vertical tunnel, instead of going down to see Knuckles, which also lets me do that spin dash, and if all goes well, I can defeat the boss from above, but all did not go well. Anyway, I'm really glad to be done with that, because we're out of one of the 2 danger zones in this run, which is Marble Garden Carnival Night. And now we've immediately entered another one, which is Ice Cap Launch Base. So let's see if I can pull this off. I sure hope so.
Yeah, so again, he won't complete Ice Cap, quote-unquote, correctly. If this goes well, he actually won't fight a boss at all. He'll just go straight into the tube at the end of Ice Cap 2.
I can't do that. I cannot do the boss skip.
But the other alternative is that he just fights the Act 2 boss and it completes Act 1. And then similarly to Marble Garden, you just complete the transition.
So I'd like to take a moment to apologize to my family who is watching this right now and have probably no idea what's going on. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry that this is a horrible, glitchy mess. But anyway, having Supersonic definitely helps with this boss fight. So, I can't do a boss skip, but I can at least kill a boss pretty quickly. Now, is he pausing strategically or is the game choking? I am pausing strategically.
You also kind of noticed there that he was still on his tippy toes. The reason being is that he wasn't really standing on an object where it actually takes away this slope glitch effect. So once he stood on the capsule, he pretty much became normal again.
And now, time for one of the 2 hardest glitches in the game for me. And this one, unfortunately, is on a time limit. So let's see if I can pull this off in time. I am going to give myself slope glitch by jumping off a platform just as it despawns. Alright, attempt 1, no good. Attempt 2, no good. I have one more good try before I should probably kill myself and try again.
Yeah, if you do this anything like I do, then after 1:30, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna start it again. Usually I'm a little better at this. Someone to chat, did he do Ice Cap already? Yes, I did.
Is there any reason you can't hit the checkpoint and just start again from there?
I almost never hit it when I have like a good amount of time. I don't know.
Oh,
I suppose, yeah. I probably should do that next time though. Let's go.
Yeah, there is actually an alternative strat for initiating the level wrap, but it is actually a lot more riskier, especially on the marathon setting. Especially when you have to like kill the boss within 1 minute. Otherwise, when Act 2 starts, the the remainder boss can still end up killing you, thus having to play through all of Launch Base Act 2.
This is really not going well. I'm going to give this one more try, and then I might end up playing Launch Base 2. Or I think I have a slightly better timing for this if I can do it before the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, so it's not immediately obvious what he's trying to do, but due to a quirk in the way that this game handles jumping out of a roll, when you jump out of a roll, you actually get pushed a few pixels down into the ground. So if you roll and then jump at the exact point that this platform is about to disappear, you'll be standing on it as it disappears. And what that'll do is it will
there we go.
activate
Finally.
the slow glitch. So you could see for a second he was standing in midair there.
Okay, now I have enough time for this.
Right. So the reason that the slope glitch occurs is basically if you're standing on a sprite object and then that sprite object goes away. So you can do it by things like, for example, in Ice Cap, you can lift Sonic with Tails onto one of those ice blocks and then have Tails break the block. Then the game just doesn't know where to put you.
Oh no.
And you end
this
up
is
in
not
this
good.
state.
I got hit when I really didn't want to get hit. I think this still works. But we're going to find out, and it's going to be very scary for everybody.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Oh my god, I can't believe I pulled that off.
Wow. I
Ooh.
did not think you'd have time for that.
I did that once before by pure accident, so I was pretty sure it would work. So who wants to explain what just happened?
All right, so remember what I said about how the game doesn't save properly if you beat Act 1 but not Act 2? That also works in reverse. If you beat Act 2 in a way the game doesn't expect you to, the game counts that as having beaten the stage. And therefore, he'll load straight into Mushroom Hill.
So Knuckles' version of that boss fight, you're supposed to fight both of those things, but in Sonic's version, you only have to fight one. So each kill separately counts as a boss kill. That's why I was able to beat Act 2 in 1 second.
And even
so
after
now
the
that we're
score
into-
tally... Oh, go ahead.
Now that we're into Sonic and Knuckles, we get the other 7 special stages.
Yeah, and I'm about to do what I consider to be the hardest special stage in the game. Thankfully, I know where a good backup ring for this, so hopefully this might go badly. You know what, let's just all be quiet for a minute so I can get this done. Alright. I just have a really big sea of breadsticks. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's the first hard part done. So now, we're gonna see a little bit more backwards play here, not too much. There. Alright, and now I'm wussing out for the rest. We're doing the rest of this forward. This is a terrible place for me to... Yeah, okay, there we go. So that's taken care of there.
Very nice.
Thank you, chat, for appreciating my sick moonwalks. I've been working very hard. So, these special stages, you're allowed to choose whichever ones you want to do in whatever order. And it really doesn't matter which order you do them in, except for the very last one. And you'll see why as I collect it. And by the way, we're going to be collecting all 7 of these Super Emeralds here in Mushroom Hill. So, I hope you guys like special stages. Unfortunately, the Sonic and Knuckles special stages are not... Oh, I got that. Are not quite as interesting as the Sonic 3 special stages, which are almost all messed up the way I play them. But there are still several that I think will be entertaining. This next special stage is not one of them. So yeah, what else should we talk about while I do this?
We can talk about the order in which you do those. So, I don't know if it's the same as when I did it, but I do the 4 on the ground first. So 6, 2, 3, and 7. And then collect the lightning shield at the end of Act 1. And that
Yes.
lets you get up to 4 and 5 easier. And then, yeah, the middle one is the last one, and you'll see why at the end.
Yes, we do those in the same order.
Okay, cool.
Jump there. We need some strategic jumping to skip 1 or 2 rings. It is the absolute tiniest time save, but I mean it's free real estate, so you know.
I think that stage has the most mandatory rings because you have to make a lot of turns in those 16 squares.
Yeah, that one I don't really know if there's anything you can do to speed it up. I don't think even the tasks I watched did much speeding up of that one. But if you're interested, that is, I believe, the fastest route through that level. And down here, what could we possibly have? Could it be another special stage immediately afterwards? Turns out that it is. And so this next special stage, the task that I watched did do something kind of interesting here, but it wasn't much of a time save, and I don't think it's very feasible by humans. It's like some weird bumper backwards messiness, and I don't think it was worth the trouble, so this level just gets played normally. The one after this, though, is one of my favorites.
Oh yes, I'm looking forward to that one.
Also, how about this color palette? Who else has their eyes bleeding right now?
Probably the most ugliest color palette I've ever seen.
It's pretty bad. For the first... Hold on. Just gotta make sure I don't screw up this jump. For the first 7 special stages, I feel like the color palettes roughly match up with the 7 levels that were originally part of the first game if you put Flying Battery into the mix. Like, it works out for Carnival Night, Flying Battery, Ice Cap, Marble Garden, Launch Zone.
Yeah, I can see that actually. Yep.
Oh, these last 7, though, I mean, I don't think they correspond to much of anything. Alright, so I'm going to go through this loop and then, oh hey, look at that, I did the funny clip. So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. And now this coming up here, this is one of my favorite special stages, and it's the shortest special stage. If I do this right, I will complete it before the music speeds up, or I'll get the last orb. But I do... Yeah, I'm just gonna ask for some focus time while I do this. Also, there is one very cool... I'll shut up. Alright, gotta time this right. Yeah, I pulled it off. Awesome. I love that trick so much.
Did you just turn left on a yellow sphere?
I sure did. That is a thing you can do.
That's incredible.
You would jump at the right time and you like land right in the center. If you're holding a direction, you will turn in that direction before you get launched.
That applies on any sphere, actually. You can, in fact, turn on a red.
You can, but it only comes in handy on 2 yellow spheres that I've been able to find. But it is so immensely satisfying when I pull it off.
And did you do an input buffer for that as well?
No, I timed it based on an audio cue.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I did an input buffer for the turn, but not for the jump.
Gotcha.
All right, so now I gotta line up this checkpoint flag. So if I screw it up, things get... Whoa, look at that. Got it in 2. That was awesome.
Nice. Yeah, so that lightning shield is actually the hardest shield to hit in the entire game because of where it is relative to the wall and where the signpost actually turns around. If any part of the signpost touches the left wall, it turns around. So you really only have the right half of the box to aim at.
Someone in chat asked, what is an input buffer? In the context of a special stage, it's basically where I start holding an input a little before I want it to actually happen, and then it won't go off until I actually want it I explained
So,
that.
for example, if you turn, you cannot turn until you hit the ground. So, if you jump and hold left, you will turn left at the next available opportunity.
Right here, I am input buffering very hard. I'm input buffering these turns and these jumps so I can pull them off on the first possible frame. But other than that, this is a pretty straightforward special stage. There will be a chance at another double bumper jumper, which is what I call it, but I've never pulled it off even once. I will try, though. And of course it didn't work. It never works. Oh well, that's 12 out of 14 special stages down. And I sure hope I don't screw up the last one again, because then I have to use one of the backup rings and flying battery, and that sort of ruins one of the tricks I'm going to be going for. But it should be okay. It's not a very difficult stage. So yeah, Mushroom Hill, normally it would also be a very broken stage, but because I have to get so many rings, I spend a lot of time not glitching past everything. In a normal run, we would not be seeing Act 1 pretty much at all.
And in fact, significant parts of Act 2 get skipped nowadays as well.
Really? I have not seen a any percent run in a bit too long.
Yeah, that's definitely worth looking out for.
It's
This
pretty
game-
insane.
I am going to venture and say that this is the most broken Sonic speedrun in this game. I don't know, how are Sonic Boom speedruns these days?
Well, see, that's all broken in the same way. The thing I like about Sonic 3 compared to a lot of other Sonic runs, including, say, like Sonic 1, for example, there are so many different ways to achieve the same thing. Like, you've already seen the wheel glitch, the slope glitch, the skipping a whole extra act by beating a boss at a different time. There are so many different ways to skip content in this game. So it never gets boring in that sense.
Someone in chat says no one's done a Boom speedrun in 4+ years. That sounds about right. I can't imagine wanting to play that more than once. Alright, so we're getting close to the end here. Oh, gotta land on that spring. Ah, not that spring. And I'm going to take some damage there because I'm tired of this lightning shield. Hop up here, and yeah, if I had backed up a little bit, I could have gotten a safety ring just to be on the super safe side. But nah, we're gonna do this live. Also, I'm gonna be really careful not to lose my rings, because we're gonna see Hypersonic immediately after this special stage.
It's okay, because even if you miss this one, Flying Battery 1 has a good safety in it.
That's true. I was hoping... Oh yeah, there is that one. I was sort of hoping not to do any of Flying Battery 1 the correct way, but if necessary. But this should be okay. We'll see. I'll try for one more of these. Hey, pulled it off. And that should be the right place. Alright, and the rest of this level's getting played backwards.
Nice. Yeah, that is a fair comment in the chat, actually. Hypersonic comes with a very strong epilepsy warning.
Yeah, that's true. There's gonna be a lot of screen flashes, unfortunately. But hey, there's all the emeralds, and so now the only thing I really have to worry about is Sandopolis skip. But even that I can try again. Now, like, the scary parts of the run are pretty much done. And right there, that is why we get that emerald last, because otherwise there would be a really slow pan to the center of the screen in order to show the Master Emerald lighting up, and we wanted to avoid that. All right, so say hello to Hypersonic. He's really fast. He jumps high.
and then yeah, effectively has any of the shields that you want. So when you're in the air and you jump again with him, he has a dash that can be done in any of 8 directions, and that's what causes the flash.
And also, the flash will kill all enemies that are present on screen as well. Kind of like a neat little quirk there, but not really useful.
So if you do a New Game Plus and you take Hypersonic into Marble Garden, that can actually cause some significant problems.
Yes, they can. Also, I'm skipping a cutscene right there because it's faster. So this level is done as intended, and you'll see that in just a second. There we go, perfect. Just as intended.
So if you remember Twinkle Snow from the last run, where they used Amy to hit the hammer and go through a part switcher and not another one, that's basically what he did there by scrolling the screen down. It didn't catch up to the second part swapper. So what that tube does is it stores a spin dash, and then as he's about to go through the mesh cylinder, it activates and pushes it off screen. So he gets the slope glitch again and gets this really funny sprite where he's just started going into the cylinder and it never changes because he's not on the cylinder.
Yep. That trick is called as intended, by the way. Should be good. Yes. Okay. Now the fun continues.
Oh yeah, and he just got the slope glitch again. So
Can't be stopped.
yeah. So anytime you stand on a sprite, the slope glitch is cancelled. So when he stepped on the capsule there, he lost it, and then he got it back again by standing on the corner of that capsule as it blew up. Because what it does is it actually just replaces that the capsule with a different capsule model, and it actually pushes him slightly out of place.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that is not what was supposed to happen at all.
Oh, that's really bad. Were you going for the checkpoint?
I was going for the checkpoint, but I jumped at the wrong place. Should I just restart the whole level? It might be faster.
It would actually.
Yeah, it would be faster.
All right,
to restart.
we're doing this again.
And you get to see as intended again.
Yeah, it's wonderful. This is really hard to practice on a completed save file because the strat I use has a good chance of just taking you back to the title screen. There we go. Hey, we got a different sprite this time. There's more content. We get all worked out. Someone's telling me it's not called as intended, it's called by design.
Technically, the as intended sprite is Tails, but but it's fine. It's the same thing.
Okay, yeah, I know what I did. I basically jumped too early, and it threw off my timing a little bit. Alright, so we're gonna do this again, hopefully for the last time. I'm tired of all this spaghetti falling out of my pockets. I'm getting hit here because in order to pull off this next trick, I do want to see what Sonic looks like, because I want to be hanging off the edge of tomorrow. All right, so
Thanks. Now that song's in my head.
you're welcome. So yeah, I basically charge a spin dash, I jump at a very specific spot, and I get glued to a wall. I used to do this without pause buffering, but the other day I had like 2 deaths in a row without pause buffering, and now I'm scared. So now I do it the way everyone else does it. 3. Oh goodness. Yeah, I am gonna get this checkpoint because I'm a huge coward.
Oh, I don't blame you. this
I
is
won't
a
blame
pretty
you for
different
that.
Stage.
All right. So now things are going as they're supposed to, except for the background is wrong. We're supposed to be inside the ship right now, but instead we're outside. All right, and so this trick, first try, awesome. So that trick, the laser skip, is very hard on any percent because you have to really precisely time a double spin dash. But on with hypersonic, it is like trivially easy. You can do it at home. Basically, line yourself up correctly so the right laser is just off the screen. You jump, you dash, you hold right, and you're gone.
Yeah, and the reason that works is because as long as that laser is off screen, as far as the game's concerned, it isn't there. So all you have to do is lock the screen in place for long enough to be able to get across the other side. And hypersonic gives you a really handy way of doing that.
It's like the dash basically has Sonic outpacing the camera. So, which is perfect for that. It's exactly what we want. I'm going to take damage here so I don't have to count down my rings, even though it might not make a difference. Oh, and look at that. I got the glitched box.
Nice.
And off we go to Sandopolis Act 1.
Now we're gonna see a pretty neat level wrap here.
Yeah, I don't really like doing this stage, so I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, this one used to be really difficult, but there's a much easier way of doing it now. These
I don't know
slopes, particularly these slopes in Sandopolis,
Yeah,
they have some issues.
but yeah, you line yourself up right, do a double spin dash, jump to the right point, and the stage is over. Hello, and goodbye. For some reason, we get behind this background layer. I don't know why that is.
You can put yourself back in front of it if you want.
Oh yeah, I can. I will later.
All you have to do is jump in the sand and back out, and then you're in front of it again.
Yeah, but I had to do a Hitchcock joke first. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, welcome to the most boring boss of the game.
Yep. This is another reason why I really like that skip, is because now I have rings against this guy. So there's less chance of me accidentally killing myself. The first time I fought this boss as a kid, I just kept hitting him over and over until the time ran out, and I was so confused. And then I touched the quicksand, and Sonic is in front of the pyramid again. And so now, Sandopolis 2, a lot of fun things are going to be happening, but there is one glitch in here that for me is the hardest glitch in the whole game, and I really hope I pull it off without us waiting too long. We're going to see. Oh, and I got blocked right there. In some cases, you can do a spin dash and jump, and that rising and falling thing will be in a favorable position, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah, it's because all of the timed objects in this stage start moving at the start of Act 1. And that's true of any of the combined 2 act stages. Even Sandopolis, which looks like it's discrete, but it's actually not.
Yep. And the fun has begun. There's a vertical level wrap right there. And we're gonna see another interesting clip right here. And this is really easy to do. Full jump, hold left, and you just fall through the floor. Easy as pie. You also fall through the floor down here really easily. So that's why I like having this lightning shield. Okay, and now this is the trick that might kill me. We'll see. And I don't mean Sonic, I mean kill me. Okay, so far so good. Now I have to navigate the invisible staircase.
I've seen this one quite a lot, and I still don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, don't explain it for a second. Oh my, thank goodness we are out of there. That is everything I could have hoped for out of that glitch. So, where do we even start with that? So many things happened in such quick succession.
How to begin? That's the question.
Starting with the loop.
Yeah, so the loop basically... Oops, I was not supposed to do that. I don't even know how to explain the loop. I don't understand how any of it works. So, If either of you know, please feel free.
I just know how to do it. I don't really know how to explain.
Yeah, basically, first off, you have to get Sonic at an exact correct height, and if you hold right at the correct time, you clip yourself into the wall. Then inside the wall, there's something like an invisible staircase that you can ascend if you're good. And the lightning shield helps a lot with that. You just have to find the blocks while you can't see. Then you fall through at the right point, and then lastly, you do a vertical level wrap to get yourself inside one more section and basically skip like 2/3 of that level. It's really hard, and I was very scared about that glitch, and I'm happy beyond words that I got it first try. Anyway, time for a really easy skip. And there was that. You stand in the right place, you do a full jump, and you hold right at the right time, and you just fall through. There's like 9 different positions you can stand in where that works, so that's something you can try at home. And yeah, basically all of the scary tricks are now done, and we only have pretty easy tricks going forward, because I don't know Death Egg Back 2 skip. So right here, we're going to be doing a stair clip, if I can. Hey, that was really good. So with the stair clip, I'm basically trying to get to a really specific point in the stair where I'm, how do I say, I'm basically like I'm underneath one of them and above another one in such a way that I just sort of clip into both of them. I can't explain things while I'm running. Can someone help me out?
The way that I explain it is like the game thinks that you're going to land on the stair, so it has a property where it's like, oh, we're going to be kind to you and let you go through the corner a little bit. But then you don't have enough height to get up onto the stair and activate it landing. So then you just fall through instead.
Yeah. And I screwed up the pogo, unfortunately. That's been ruining me all day. So I'm going to try for a trick here that I've never done, I don't know how to do, and I don't know what I would do if I got it. But we'll see. And it didn't work. What a surprise. It's possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So you can get yourself wedged under that box as it pops up and be pushed into the ground. Sonic is too tall to just walk under it, so he has to roll. But he then has to stand up at exactly the right time because rolling obviously breaks the box. So you have to perfectly time pressing right so that you slow down. And then, after you've done everything right, sometimes you can just be crushed.
Yeah, so it's super hard, and I think like your best run, that has that trick in it, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yep. And I've never done it because it's super hard. And there goes my fire shield. I'm gonna get a bubble shield. So yeah, this level, I'm so bad at it. This level is my kryptonite. I just can't do it fast, no matter how hard I try. I can do it so.
It's fairly cycle heavy, so even if it doesn't feel like you're doing it super fast, you don't, or you lose discrete amounts of time. So like, whatever, say a 4-second cycle with the blocks up ahead here.
Yep, that didn't work out, but I can drop through here. I actually discovered that when I was a kid.
I did not.
I was just playing around, and oh yeah, this is something cool. Normally you want to avoid that special stage ring because otherwise it takes up way too much of your time, but in an all emeralds run, you don't care. I'll just get a bunch of rings. So now coming up is a very, very huge time save. This is a Lava Reef boss skip. I am going to try and do another stair clip to clip myself into the Knuckles part of the level. Because Knuckles does not fight a boss in Lava Reef Zone.
Yeah, so the sequence that he's going to skip is 2 minutes long. There is actually another way to do it with Hypersonic.
Yeah.
But I don't blame him for not going for it, because if you miss it, you end up in a lot of trouble.
I've never pulled it off even once, and I have tried many times. And this is giving me a lot more trouble than it usually does. Normally I get this in 2 or 3 tries. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's a thing that can happen too.
That's inexplicable.
That's
Well,
unlucky.
that's why I got that checkpoint.
Yep.
Well, now I don't have
So
a
anyway,
lightning
once,
shield.
once he does succeed in that, and you don't need the lightning shield for the rest of it, so he's fine here. Once he succeeds in that, he'll then do the double spin dash he was talking about. So where that area puts you is into somewhere that has blocks that only Knuckles is meant to break. So we're not going to break them, we're just going to go through them instead. So similar to Flying Battery, where he made the laser disappear, he does 2 really quick spin dashes against it. And the first one causes the camera to pan so far that they're actually off screen. And then the second one passes through it as they're off screen.
I'm glad that went well, at least. Yeah. Whoops. I just need to accept that in a marathon, a certain subset of things are going to go wrong, and just deal with it.
That's kind of this game in general, to be fair.
Oh god, yes. I've been trying to get a really solid PB run for weeks now, even though... Oh yeah, oh no, by the way.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. 36 is not great, but whatever. I've been trying to get a really solid PB for weeks now because I just learned Carnival Night Act 2 and there's like 2 minutes for me to save, and I have not completed like a run without major screw-ups yet. And it's driving me crazy. I'm getting irritable.
Let me put something to you that I was doing runs of this game between 2006 and 2018, and obviously the run changed many times in that period, but
Oh yes.
there would only be a handful of runs I did in that whole time, maybe 2, where I was happy with every stage in the run at the time.
Goodness. Yeah, we speedrun games not because they are easy, but because they are difficult. Alright, so right here we're going to see one last vertical wrap here in Sky Sanctuary. And it's a pretty easy one to do, and it sort of underscores how the layout of this level is not even sort of how it looks. Like you eventually, it looks like you're going up and up and up when you play this level. You eventually go up the top and come out the bottom. You'll see that in a minute. First, I gotta get a lightning shield. Oh, I went a bit too high, but I got it. So here's the skip. I'm gonna hang on the left side of this, hold down, gonna jump, and use my lightning shield. And I end up on the bottom of the stage, which it turns out is almost at the end. Whoops, well, I don't get that. Whatever.
And the benefit for doing this vertical wrap, he's actually skipping 2 mini bosses as well.
Yeah, and now I'm at the boss of the stage, and it's been less than a minute. 3, 4, 5. And this should be nice and easy. Oh, come on, don't do that again. Alright, and so that's Sky Sanctuary in 1 minute and 8 seconds. Which is awesome. And so this is a super long cutscene here, and so because, once again, because the score counter finished counting down, my save file has ticked over, so I'm just going to reset and skip that cutscene. If I wasn't playing on the Wii Virtual Console, I would be skipping more cutscenes, but it's a slightly slower reset than it should be. And here, we're in Death Egg, which is one of my favorite zones with the best song on the soundtrack. Don't at me, you are wrong. And this stage is played pretty normally. Yeah, there's no glitches in this stage that I can think of. But I do play a route that is basically not possible without hypersonic.
Yeah, this route is very much intended for Tails only. But you can complete it if you have Hyper specifically, because he's going to get to a point at the end here where there's a massive death pit. Hypersonic, with his upward boost can just get out of it. That route is about 25 seconds faster at this point, which is where the paths converge. So yeah, that saved quite a lot of time.
And then I lost all that time again by doing that button thing horribly, I'm sure.
Also, that door on the way out can sometimes crush you.
I've had that happen, and it really sucks. If you just hang too low to the bottom of the screen, it's possible you just die. Also, that one ring transport thingy, that is the only one I'm going to touch in this whole level. It's the only one that saves time. All the others waste time. Oh, by the way, this is Red Eye. Do you remember this boss giving you a lot of trouble in the past? Well, an 100% run. Things... Oh, and of course I screwed up a little bit. But no, you just sort of hang out on top and have some fun.
Incredibly satisfying.
Yeah, this boss can be a lot of trouble when you don't have super or hyper.
Are you doing the skip in this stage?
No, I don't know it.
Oh, okay. Alright.
But I am having some fun
stage-
with the final boss.
Yeah, this stage in Glitchless is a little bit of a victory lap. It's fairly straightforward layout-wise. Like, once you get over the fact that you're actually traveling on the ceiling sometimes. Not much else will give you that much trouble in this stage.
And we're finally going to see a bit more hypersonic, which has been heavily neglected throughout the rest of the run.
Yeah, it's the other thing. You got a nice good stretch of hypersonic here.
Also, I'm picking up that bubble shield, and you'll see why later. But for now, I'm just going to basically speed through this. Oh, and of course I missed that spin dash. Why would I get it? Oh yeah, also, my up-down controls are weirdly inverted here. So if I try and do an up dash as hypersonic, like I have to hold up even though I'm going towards the bottom of the screen. And boy, that trips me up. And okay, I thought there was another ring path thing there, but no, it's coming up. And we're skipping it, because all of them are slow. Also, that thing right there where I jump off the wall and then dash forward, that also saves a bit of time because I don't have to like fly upwards into the stratosphere. Jump. And I should have enough rings at this point to be hypersonic throughout the entire next boss. Which...
I think you need about 38.
Yeah, well, I've got 52.
You're fine.
More than enough.
This will be no problem. And then we get to see a very fun glitch for the next boss, which will make it much easier and faster. And that's why I got the bubble shield, and you'll see why. I don't know if anyone else gets a bubble shield like I do, but I like it. Oh, that was not supposed to happen.
See what you got here. Anyway, so this boss is very interesting.
Oh my God. I'm so bad.
The way it's supposed to work is that you let the turret things move around on the bottom, and you have to line up when it intersects with the thing in the middle and fire them up that way. But instead, what you can do is just have them be pushed into the ceiling. Oh, that was really unlucky timing.
Yeah. All right, and so I just set up a glitch that's going to be happening in a minute. You saw Sonic and Eggman, Robotnik, sorry, jitter forward like that. I have no rings, and I don't like that one bit. Whatever,
Right,
we're
so
doing it live.
At the moment, where the platforms appear to be on the ground and where they actually are slightly off sync. And what that means is, on the right side of the screen,
Kidding me. Oh,
where there appear to be platforms like that, there's not. So you can just
Yeah.
fall in there and die.
and that is in fact what happened. And so I don't get to do the cool way, and I have no rings, and this just sucks. This is not how I wanted this to end. But fortunately, it's not how this ends.
Yes, we have
Oh, yeah.
a whole extra boss sequence left to go after this. Lots of other games after this tried this extra boss sequence, but the original is still the best as far as I'm concerned.
Yep. So now I just have to do this like the skillful way instead of the cheesy way. Top. And yep, you can get 4 of those in a cycle. Maybe, I don't know if you can get 5, can you?
Yep,
It's
you can
possible to get 5.
Alright, well, I got 4, and down in 2 cycles. Alright, should I jump down after him? I'm gonna wait for him to appear. Alright, 5 hits is not too bad. So, in an any percent run, we'd be about to call for time, but we've got all the emeralds, so we've got one last trip ahead of us. And I think this is the first time the Doomsday Zone has appeared on the Games Done Quick channel. Which is personally satisfying to me, if I'm correct.
Yep,
Oh,
and
I'm
only
shooting a
Sonic has access to this boss. Tails and Knuckles do not get an extra fight like this.
So yeah, this is something I didn't learn until I started speedrunning it. You can just press a button and you'll boost forward, and you go faster. I didn't know that for like 20 years.
Well, you can't beat the stage if you don't know that.
Oh, you can. I promise you can. I've done it. I played the stage like that for 20 years. It was really slow.
You don't catch up though, do you?
You do eventually. It's a fixed amount of... You mean with the red robot at the end?
Yeah.
You do. If you hold forward, you do catch up. It's just, it takes forever, and you have to spend a lot of time
Really?
farming rings.
I legitimately like timed over the first time I played this because I didn't know that I could boost forward like that, and I couldn't reach the second phase of the boss.
Now, if you hold forward, that works well enough.
It works just very slow. I've got to try this now.
Give it
I'm
a
actually
shot. Just-
pretty curious.
If you hold forward, you will in fact speed up, just not as much as if you were boosting. Anyway, so I'm a little lower on rings than I was hoping for, but it should be fine. I'm not going to have any troubles here. So now we're just counting off 8 hits. Time is going to be when the screen fades to white. I will call it out. And I hope I get the panic music as I defeat this boss. Yep. Oh, and it's ruined. And time. And that
Nicely
is
done.
that.
Very nice.
That's right. I just barely came in under estimate. I'm calling that a win. Whew,
Yeah, that was
oh.
a 109.47.
Yep, it's about 5 minutes off of my PB. And also, we don't time this game in real time. We time it in real time minus time bonuses. You'll notice that sometimes I beat a level under a minute and I had to count down 50,000 points. We just cut that out of the timing because we don't want to have to like slow down in order to get the fastest times.
That makes sense.
Compton, thank you for the 5 gift subs. I see you.
Well,
Yeah,
I think chat really loved this run. It was so much fun to watch.
Thank you. I'm glad that people were watching who did not see it before. I love showing this off. And,
It's
yeah,
great because when you're trying to sell it, you think, oh, this run has hypersonic, and those parts are fun, but the real sleeper hit part of that run is how you do the special stages.
Yeah, that's like specifically why I did it, because I knew it wasn't that fast, but I knew it would be fun to watch, and it is fun to play too.
Honestly,
Well, I think you
and
had
I've
everyone on the edge of their seat.
yeah, and I popped in because it is the end of the event, but I couldn't have picked a better closer for this marathon, I think.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be closing out an event like this, and this was a fantastic marathon. I watched as much as I could.
Yeah, like I saw you in chat like dropping knowledge and, you know, generally being nice to pretty much anyone who had questions and, you know, filling in because it's hard to keep up with a chat like this, and, you know, it's been a pleasure having you on board.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for setting this up. And thank you, Supersonic and Sega Junkie, for commentary, and Author Blues for doing like all the tech for this. Everyone, please thank him in chat.
Yeah, Author Blues, Railcoon, and I cannot say Richard's username backwards. Nope, not happening. I can barely say Sonic. Let's be real. There's no way.
The GDQ team has put in a lot of time for writing this. Thank you to Richard and Railcoon for making this possible, and thank you, Amber, for organizing the whole thing.
Absolutely. Like my goal for this event was to get people to like learn new categories and be able to like showcase all of the really awesome things that these categories, or like the emeralds categories, or the good endings, or whatever. These games have a lot more to offer than just beat the game, and all you ever really see in marathons most of the time is just beat the game. This is just a different facet that many people ignore, and I think it's criminal that it is ignored. So I want to thank everyone who submitted. We had like 35 hours worth of content to fill like a 20-ish hour slot, so a slot of time between the 2 days. And I want to thank everyone. Like, I had a few folks behind the scenes that weren't just GDQ that were helping me with scheduling, checking submissions, all that stuff. Sega Junkie was one of them. He was the one who recommended TheSoundDefense for this. Like, because I had like 7 S3K submissions, and he's like, TSD, his special stages. And I was like, all right, because I was like, who's TSD? I've never heard of this guy.
I mean, I don't do much. I normally just run Shantae, but this is a run I've become infatuated with.
Wow, that probably explains why I hadn't, like, I'm not affiliated with the Shantae community, so like that's incredible. If you haven't followed him, you should. Find his content, follow it. It doesn't have to be just S3K. This has been really fun. Go drop a follow for pretty much all the runners from this event. Go back, watch the VODs. If you enjoy the run, follow the people. It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you, Supersonic, for opening up the event last night. I meant to say yesterday.
It is an honor. Thank you so much for allowing me to open the event. It was definitely a great time, and there was just a bunch of really cool runs all around. And of course, thanks to everybody involved. Thanks to Alpha Blues especially. I mean, this guy, he's a trooper, man. Like, I appreciate him greatly. And of course, thank you to Amber for organizing the entire event. Like, this is definitely a treat, and just to be a part of it, even for just one run, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, honestly, the event wouldn't have come together without the runners, without the commentators, and of course without GDQ offering me the platform to, you know, bring you these amazing emerald runs. So thanks for that as well. So Author Blues, you're a trooper for sticking through 2 straight days of this, and then Railcoon and Richard as well.
Well, I think that's a good place for us to wrap it up. I do want to remind everyone about a few more things going on GDQ before we sign off. This marathon went great. It's wrapped up. I can't tell you any more about it, but I do know that there's some more events going on this week. We have our time capsule show at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, and we have the first step at 7 p.m. Eastern this Thursday. A few event information you might be interested in. Corona Relief Done Quick will be starting April 17th. That's coming up pretty soon. April 17th through the 19th, benefiting direct relief for Corona Relief. SGDQ, if you have been keeping track of it, has been postponed. So if you've already submitted a game or a volunteer submission, those have been cleared, and submissions will open up anew on April 29th, so be prepared for that. It's currently been rescheduled, if I'm not mistaken, for August 16th through the 23rd. I don't have that written down in front of me. GamesDoneQuick.com/notice is the place where you can go for all of this rescheduling information, even if it's to just check my correctness on that date I just said. Or if you want information on any upcoming dates and events, you can go to GamesDoneQuick.com. We really appreciate all the support that you've given, both in your viewership. So many people have been out here showing some love for the Sonic speedrunning community, and through your bits and subscriptions. They make these shows possible. These shows take a lot of resources to put on, and your support makes these possible. So consider subscribing to support more broadcasts just like this one if you enjoyed it. with that, I think we're going to wrap up now. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for the runners and the commentators. Please check the schedules to follow pretty much all of these people. There's no one on there who is not deserving of a follow. Everyone has put in so much effort to make this marathon possible. And with that, I think we're probably going to send people over to Califon.
Sounds awesome. And also, for those of you who don't know how to pronounce my name is Amber Cyprin. I forgot to introduce myself before signing off for this event. So thank you for having me, GDQ. It's been awesome.
Take care.